That's where it ends. That's what ends.
Hello everyone, it's day 2 of Pursuit Palooza.
Pursuit Palooza! Yep, we woke up this morning to a
Car show
down in main level, or Main Street in front of our hotel. So that was kind of cool. It's a nice surprise. We're supposed to be getting on the bus here shortly. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work because the whole entire Main Street is blocked off, but we'll figure it out.
See if they come down on one of the side streets. But right now we're going to go down the lobby, pick up our bottle of Pursuit United, come back to the room, drop it off, and then go back down, get on the bus and then where we're going.
So we're going to go today 2 places, Four Roses and Jim Beam, and also Preservation Distillery.
Oh.
So, but anyway, the bottle we're picking up today is the one that we all voted on yesterday at Pursuit United. Right. Hopefully it's number 2.
Yes, what I picked.
Yeah. Anyway, it is a double oak selection. So we'll see who was the winner there. But we all got a bottle, and we're going to go pick it up before we take off here. And we'll take you guys along for the ride.
All right, let's go. Oh.
Good morning, guys. Let's go do it. Yes. So sit and waiting, right?
Going round. Oh, the heat. They've got a few.
What was the winner? What are you trying to see?
I couldn't say.
Well, yeah, what number was it? All right. Thank you, sir.
If you guys see anybody in there that's down there early, just tell them, because we start thinking if we just, the sooner as people can, then we don't have a line out here. We can just start slinging them out. Kenny's up grabbing a shower, and, so I'm going to hang on down here until he gets back. So.
Got it. Okay. We'll talk. What is that?
I can take it back up to the room and be done with it.
Take it over to me for J-Hob.
Right. All right.
Now they bring him square. Wait, you already have to bring out something.
Yes, that was Brian. He put it.
A few bumps on the way with some turbulent air, and but other than that, we should have a nice trip. So we'll see you later. Bye.
Hey, Ryan.
All right, we're finally on the party bus.
Good.
Headed towards where?
So, Claremont. Jim Beam.
Jim Beam?
Yep.
And then Four Roses?
Yep.
So this is what it looks like?
Four Roses first. Oh, just kidding. Four Roses.
It's an update from the flight deck here. The lead captain, Ruben, just let me know we're not going to Jim Beam. We're going to Four Roses. So get ready for all 10 recipes and enjoy your trip down. You know, there's no flight attendants, so help yourself to snacks and water up here in the front. We got liquid IVs if you need some hydration. We can pass it back. With that, enjoy your trip.
And with that update, we are on our way.
Hills of Lawrenceburg and also Cox Creek here where we're going. So Four Roses is near and dear to our heart, and it really pissed me off last Christmas when they found a bunch of Four Roses bottles that were signed by Jim Rutledge, and Ben got the highest value one because he's an older grandkid than I am. Got him.
Got it.
But it is really cool. We have a cool barrelhead where my grandfather's retirement, Al Young, Jim Rutledge, all the famous people in Sierra Four Roses all signed his retirement barrelhead. So We're gonna have a great time at Four Roses. Who's ready?
Oh, he's Black Box. He's a goalie.
Oh, goalie. Okay.
Does everybody have cups? Does anybody need cups? I can pass some back. Are y'all good?
Pass them back there. What? What's that? What's he got? That looks like an old elk. Hey, does he got an old elk back there? Yeah. Ooh, I want some old elk.
Here, go get it.
I'd rather have some United.
Yeah, they will be distinct. If you would please. Thank you, sir.
What's the story on this? You said Finger Lakes, but old elk is. God, that smells good. I like that bottle.
We're all friends here. We're almost there. Just turning in.
Oh yeah, they're learning to shut their mouths.
That's my buddy's farm.
Oh yeah?
Look at, they're all waiting for us.
So you go 2 for.
All right, 18 are going to get off at a time.
Try to keep
Yes.
you guys in as much air conditioning as we can.
We like the way you
You guys
think.
get air conditioning in here, so it might be easier to wait in here one at a time.
Oh.
So everybody, the people I just told you, you all go.
All right.
Okay.
Dun, dun. Thank you for getting us here safe. Sound. Woo.
When you get off of work,
Here, and then you guys are actually going to go straight to Scott. He's going to get you
Scott.
guys your stickers. Yes.
All right. You're Scott. I had a 50-50 chance of getting the Scots.
This right here?
Sure.
There you go.
It's my middle name, actually. Oh, is it?
Here you are.
Thank you, sir. Look at Four Roses Group 1. We haven't even drinking yet. We're on a bus, totally we have.
When you're drinking, you go, I wanted a tulip.
I know, right? You guys enjoy. It might be a competition. We'll have to see how he has it. That's right.
Anybody needs to use an elevator? We have an elevator. Otherwise we'll walk up the steps.
All right. We'll follow you.
Yeah. Now, we're going to go to the bottling line first. That's where we're going to start off. And then we're going to come back over here.
I think we lost the other 16.
Yeah, we're going to start going slow because we got all these nice archives to check out.
Yeah.
So make sure that we have everybody.
That's so cool.
Got everybody excited about
Oh yeah.
archives and Four Roses
We like the history.
and history. We're going to go over all that too.
And I love the little bottles only because I have a bottle collection that's miniature.
Yeah, a little bit of a question.
2000 and counting.
Well, there's nobody working out here on weekends. Just us at the visitor center and the security guard. So I'm going to go ahead and let everybody start walking on into the bottling here.
Oop. Go ahead. Oh. Definitely quieter day on the days they're not running.
Almost too quiet.
Did you have to check and see who you were?
He double check you weren't Gabby.
My name is Scott.
Welcome to Four Roses Bottling. This is our where we're going to bottle the majority of everything. We don't do the 50 milliliter bottles here. We don't have the machines for that. And our exports, the 80 proof exports, we blend it together, send it over in barrel strength, and then they're going to proof it down overseas in Scotland for the European market, in Tokyo for the Asian market. That way we're not spending money to send water over, right?
Makes sense.
That's the best way to go about that. Now the exports for the single barrels and the small batches, we do bottle that here, palletize it, send it over. Those unique bottle shapes would require some extra equipment.
So like the super premium, you bottle that here? Is that
No,
what?
that's a good point. The super premium and fine old bourbon, the black label, which are export only bottles, those are also going to be blended here, barrel strength sent over, and then proof down overseas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so something we don't really mention a lot of because we don't have it here for people to try. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to try the super premium or the fine old bourbon, that's what it's called. People just call it black label. Black label, fine old bourbon's 80 proof, both K recipes. Super premium's 86 proof with both V recipes, both K recipes. Are you all familiar with the recipes?
I was just about to ask for super
Okay.
premium. Is that a blend or?
Yeah, they're
recipes?
blending recipes together, and we're going to go over that because we have a little special pour for you all. And when you're getting in there, you're going to have the opportunity to choose one pour from our 10 recipes, and I'm going to go over all that. But for now, we're at bottling, and I want to direct everybody's attention to the single barrel line. This is my favorite line because the single barrels are my favorite bourbon, so I'm biased. This guy, he's got an E.H. Taylor, right? E.H. Taylor, I like it. The single barrel line. So the single barrels, they actually get processed right here on the bottling line. Here in a moment, we'll see where everything else gets processed. But this makes things easy for us to maintain the fact that it's a true single barrel. So we're going to evacuate one barrel, run it through our tanks over here, and flush those tanks with water afterwards to make sure that there's no false contamination or bleed over from barrels. That way you're getting a true single barrel, right? So the bung is drilled out of the barrel, a probe is inserted, it sucks the liquid out. It's going to run through some filters to remove any barrel bits so you don't get a splinter while you're drinking our bourbon, right? The first set of tanks is the receiver tank, so they're going to proof it down a little bit, about 102 or so. And then it's going to be moved to that blue device, which is a heat exchanger. It's going to begin cooling the bourbon down. This middle set of tanks are the chill filtration tanks. So we'll begin the chill filtering process there. And then we got a bigger heat exchanger right over here to the left, that other blue device. We begin warming the bourbon back up so that our hydrometers can correctly calibrate it and proof it down the rest of the way to 100. And then it gets sent over to our filler station over here. So we have two separate filler tanks there. As you can see, the tanks closest to us are for one barrel. The tanks farthest away are for a second barrel. That way we can stagger while they're flushing those lines, and that way we can consistently be running something. The bottles are placed on the line by hand right through that window, and they'll go through that blue wheel that blows air into the bottles, dislodging any type of cardboard debris or anything that would come over from shipping. Then we have a 12-station filler, fill 12 bottles at a time. And then we'll move to this machine right here with the circular device on top. That's going to place that wooden top cork into the bottle. And then the PE master machine there with the blinking red light, that's going to place the appropriate label on the bottle. After that, it gets its tamper-resistant seal, moves through the heat tunnel, it shrinks that seal, and then comes around the U-turn where this machine right here is going to laser etch a traceability number, the lot number on the bottle for quality control. And then we'll move through the U-turn onto this table right here where we'll have some employees over there hand inspecting the bottles, and then it'll get sent on through that window where they get hand packed into the cases. Those cases get sent over to a robotic arm. I named it Doug. It doesn't really have a name, but that's what I go with. And that is going to shrink wrap and palletize the single barrels and process them for retail. The barrel strength single barrels from the private select program, they're going to skip all that. They literally just insert a probe into a bottle, suck the juice out, and goes in there, and we just start filling. It's as straight from the barrel as you can get. All right.
How long is the whole process?
So we can do 60 to 70 bottles a minute here, and we get about 180 bottles out of a barrel. When they're moving as fast as they can anyway, sometimes, things happen where they take the time a little bit, and they'll make sure that the quality is perfect and everything. But from the start to the finish of a barrel being evacuated, it's about 15 minutes. They can get through a barrel. Now, if it's a private select, it's shorter because it's not getting processed through all that. All right. Let's talk about our high-speed line.
Do you normally run it on the weekends or no?
No, we don't run on weekends. It's Monday through Friday for them, 8 to 3 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, a pretty nice little shift there. So the high-speed line does 180 bottles a minute, so about a barrel a minute. It's moving, and that process starts on the other side of that wall as well. But this time we have another robotic arm that's going to remove those empty bottles from the cases, so there's not a human with their hands on that. So the empty cases will be on that top conveyor, that blue conveyor, and the bottles will be on this lower conveyor. Now that first box over there, that's called an FP Vision system. That is basically a camera system that's going to check those bottles for chips, cracks, nicks, warpage, anything that's going to compromise the integrity of the bottle. And then from there, once they pass the test, we're going to move on to our tri-block machine. If they fail the test, they get kicked off to the side and disposed of. The tri-block machine is going to have the blower, so it's going to blow any air into the bottles, dislodging them. It'll turn them upside down, blow air into them. Because there are cardboard bits in there, they've been washed, but this is going to blow that out. The silver dome merry-go-round looking thing there makes more sense when there's actually bottles on it and it's going in circles, but that's a 48 bottle filler for the 80 proof flagship bourbon, or 24 at a time for the small batches because of the wider shoulders. And then the dispenser looking thing is going to place the cork into the bottle. From there, the bottles go to another F2 Vision system. That's going to inspect the fill line of the cork. From there, they go around the U-turn into this PE modular press machine with a blinking red light. So that has the laser extra for the lot number and places the appropriate label on the bottle at the same time. And from there, we get our tamper-resistant seal. The heat tunnel will shrink that seal, and another F2 system. So we're going to inspect those labels, the lot numbers, and everything before. Less than 1% of bottles fail that test after they've gone through all this other stuff. They will continue to do another U-turn to right below us here where our package filling machine is. It's kind of like a pin resetter to bowl now. He's going to pick those bottles up in the window, gently place them in the box, fold the flap shut, tape them shut, right? Lot number on the box, it's going to weigh the box, and then it's going to go up this red corkscrew conveyor belt right down in front of us here where it goes to our top loading palletizer. And that's this platform that can raise up and down, and it'll push the cases onto that platform. We'll be setting on a pallet. It drops the pallet down, spins it around, and it shrink wraps it right there, and it raises it back up for another layer, and it keeps on doing that until that's full, and then it gets processed, sent off to the distributor where we buy it and roll it.
So how many people do you need to like run this line?
On this line, there's about 8 to 10 people running, and over here we have about 6. Yeah, so it's not counting who's processing the barrel, and there'll be an extra 3 people back there processing the barrel. So over here, we only have maybe, really only 20 or so people rolling in this. It's this one, we do have humans at every one of these FP Vision systems that are inspecting, making sure the machines are doing their thing. That's what these bottles, you can kind of see them with the orange label.
The ones that are on the ground,
Yeah,
are those
like over
rejects?
there. No, it'll be underfill, overfill, and standard fill, so they can take that bottle and they can double check and calibrate the machines to make sure that it's doing its job. So they spot check them. We do a minimum of 354 quality checks on every batch of bourbon from grain to bottle before you do. That's a minimum.
What are all of the pink and black parts on the
That's
wall?
a great question. The plates that are different color coordinated things. So we will run something for about a week, right? So we'll run 4 Roses bourbon for like a week. And then one Friday they'll come in here and shut down a little early. These guys get to go home a little early, and they'll recalibrate the machines. Those different plates are for the different bottle size. So when they go to a small batch, they'll use a different. Now, when they go from small batch to small batch select, that's not a change because it's the same bottle. But if they go from the small batch select to the 1.75 or whatever, they got to change those plates over again.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's a better answer than what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Let's head on to the table and try some bourbon.
Okay.
All right.
Talk us into it. Right? We're gonna
That's
try
right.
bourbon. That's what we want.
That was 48, I think.
It was so long.
Let me squeeze by you also. Go ahead and get up here to the station.
Dun, dun, dun. She's back.
Yeah. Waiting our group to come on through, make sure we got everybody. All right, welcome to our tasting area, I guess is what you would call it. How many of you have ever wondered why our bourbon's called Four Roses? A couple people. All right. Well, you're in luck because they pay me to tell you the story of where our brand got its name. And that's what I'm going to do. The story begins in the 1880s with our founder, Paul Jones Jr. He fell in love with a beautiful Southern belle. He was smitten by her, as the story goes. So he decided one day he was going to ask her hand in marriage. He wrote up a proposal and he hired a personal courier and he sent this proposal off to this young lady, and she received that proposal and responded with an astounding maybe. Right? Yeah. She said that if her answer was yes, she would wear a corsage of roses on her gown to this upcoming grand ball they'd both be attending. Now, legend has it he arrived a little early the night of the grand ball, and he's waiting nervously yet excitedly to see where her answer is going to be. And his heart skips a beat when she arrives in her beautiful gown wearing a corsage of 4 red roses. So she was signifying that her answer was yes to his proposal. He later named his bourbon 4 Roses as a symbol of his devout passion for that beautiful Southern belle, and that was a passion he thereafter transferred into making his bourbon. Right. That's our story anyway, we're sticking to it. It does make for a lovely story. Now, Four Roses was established in 1888. We've been around for quite a while. Since then, we survived Prohibition, 2 world wars, witnessed all those moon landings, and a lot more. The way we survived Prohibition, well, we were one of 6 distilleries that remained operational during that era. Under the Frankfurt Distilling Company, we sold our bourbon for medicinal purposes, and we still recommend that to this day. If you ever go to Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, where our historic distillery is, there are the Al Young archives, and in those archives sits an original prescription bottle of Four Roses bourbon. It still has the doctor's written instructions with it. That's right, it reads take 2 ounces and repeat as often as necessary. I recommend that you follow that doctor's orders to this day. In fact, we're going to be repeating a couple times a day on this experience. So the trick is to be responsible about it. The Bourbon Trail is a marathon, not a sprint, right? After Prohibition ended, Four Roses remained in the Jones family until 1943. It's where our brand was purchased by the well-known Seagrams and Sons. We were the #1 bourbon seller in the United States in the 30s and 40s. We have a picture that y'all can funnel through and look at, but if you look at the top of that back tower, there's a Four Roses billboard back there. I bet you never saw that before, right? That's because they crop it out, the audacity, right? We kept the original intact, though. So we were very popular. However, in the 50s, bourbon sales started to die off in the States. Yeah. Americans started moving toward gins and vodkas and clear spirits and falling out of favor with the brown spirits. So in 1958, Seagrams made the executive decision to make our bourbon an export-only product. It was no longer available in the United States, even though it was made here. It was positioned for sales in a rapidly growing European and Asian market where we became the #1 bourbon seller overseas. Here in the States, Seagrams produced a Four Roses blended whiskey that replaced our bourbon. Has anybody ever had Four Roses blended whiskey? You all are lucky. It wasn't great. Now, that trend continued for some time until February 2002, when our brand was purchased by Kieran Brewing Company. That's who owns us today. They renamed the newly acquired brand Four Roses Distillery LLC, and then in 2003 they returned our beloved bourbon back to the United States. And since then we've added some new additions to the family. Today what we'll be trying is Four Roses Small Batch Select, which was introduced in 2019. It's our 4th rose, and we'll see how you feel about it, right? Have any of y'all ever had Four Roses Small Batch Select? Plenty of you, right? Great. Mm-hmm. And are we doing this first one here or the second one? Which one?
You can do the first one.
All right, so if you all go ahead and grab, I'll just let you line up and grab one each. That way there's just enough for each of you. There you go. We'll make sure everybody has one. And then the next group, we can't drink theirs. They need bourbon too.
If no one tells them it wasn't here, they won't know.
They won't know.
We're on to your game.
All right, so everybody's got theirs. Four Roses Small Batch Select was introduced in 2019 as the expression that our current master distiller Brandon Elliott decided that fit his profile, and that is his artistic expression. So we're looking at a bourbon that's 104 proof, non-chill filtered. It is $60 in our gift shop. If you like it so much you need to buy a case, we'll even help you carry it out to the bus. But we're looking at 6 and 7 year premium barrels, about 250 barrels, what we consider a small batch here. 6 recipes. We have, we'll talk about those recipes a little bit later, but we have both mash bills in our V, K, and F yeast strains. That delicate fruit, herbal notes, and light spice. On the nose, you might pick up that clove and nutmeg and those warming spices. A little cocoa, a little apricot, creme brulee, custardy, vanillas, right? On the taste, it's pretty true to the nose on it. With the finish, though, you might get a little bit of a mint herbal tea with a touch of cinnamon. So, cheers, enjoy, and
Is it primarily E or B? Or?
it's a pretty good combination of those two, about 50-50. But the yeast strains themselves are not 1 for 1. I'm not for sure what gets used more. My guess would be the K or the V's would be used more because those are more common recipes. The F yeast strain is pretty dominant, so it comes through pretty well on the profile on that without using a bunch.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said. What proof it was?
104 proof, and that's about the limit of where we don't have to chill filter. So chill filtration actually happens in that tank right over there. It's a very common process amongst distilleries. There are organic components that naturally occur in bourbon, like oils and fatty acids, and they're soluble in alcohol, but as you add water to adjust the proof, those things can fall out of solution and your bourbon gets cloudy. So you chill it to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, pass it through some filters, and it clears up the bourbon, but it does strip some texture and color. So here we skip that process. And when you get to try some of the other things we got, those are also non-chill filtered bourbons, okay? But our Four Roses 80 proof, the small batch at 90 proof, and the single barrel at 100 proof, those have all been chill filtered, and everything past that we don't. So you get this buttery texture, it's flavor complexity.
So the single barrel strength you don't.
We don't chill filter those.
Pretty much everything that's high enough proof.
Everything that's going to be over
soluble in the alcohol, right?
Everything that you're going to find that's really, I mean, there have been some of those barrel strengths at 101 and stuff like that, and you'll see they're a little bit cloudy, but 104 plus, we're comfortable skipping that. So any limited editions, any of those barrel strengths, we're not chill filtering. And we won't chill filter those lower proof barrel strengths either. We just don't do it.
Just put up with the cloud.
Just put up with the cloudiness, yeah. All right. Once you're doing that, anybody got any other questions?
The 2 new recipes that have been introduced.
Yeah, is it already going to have 12? It's 2 new mash bills, right?
Oh, yeah.
The new mash bills. I'm not sure how that's going to work yet, but yeah, you're correct. There are 2 new mash bills being introduced. Now remember, we're going to be waiting probably a minimum of 5 years for those to hit the market. Yeah, unless if they've been doing them beforehand, but I've been keeping a pretty good eye on things, and I don't think they have. All right, and we're going to go this way, but yeah, there will be some new stuff.
Okay.
I think I can pick that lock.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's secure. That's good. Is that all my group points? To try up here. Choose wisely, and I'm going to go over these recipes whenever. Just a quick rundown of these recipes, and you all kind of get an idea of what you want. Yeah.
So what would you like to try?
About over here.
Yes. Yes, that's my favorite.
So it's a V, K, O, Q, and F down here.
Yes.
All right. So let's
We can switch.
what can I do for you?
I want the BK.
BK?
Yeah.
Okay. How about
Which one has the highest rye? Do you know?
the B mash bills? One have the highest rye, and if you're looking for my suggestion, the F yeast strain puts off notes that are very similar to those of rye as well, so it drinks like it's already a higher rye than it is. So that OBSF is one of my favorite. That's actually my favorite B mash bill recipe. If you would like to try, I'll try the port for you. All right.
No.
You said you wanted the OES
There you go.
also?
Yes.
There you are.
You wanted the OBS?
She just likes the sweeter kind of.
How about I do an OESQ? We got candied fruit, vanilla, honeysuckle. Yep. There you go.
Is there an OBSO?
OBSO, yes.
This is OESF, so we're looking at clove, cocoa, and pear.
Yep.
We got
Thank
this,
you.
Vanillas and light cherry notes. Absolutely. There you are.
I have the OESB, and you have OBSO.
Yep.
I'm trying the ABCD, and you're trying the FGHI.
Stopping time in Kentucky to pop in, buy a single barrel strength, and pop back out.
And
Ooh, that's good. It's really smooth.
most fruity ones would be OESO, for sure. OESO.
Yours is more cinnamony, like more spicy, like baking spices, for sure.
Yeah, I like the OBSO.
You have to go. Yeah, you go ahead.
Good call, Ross.
He might know a thing or two.
Get everything, but you know what's
Right.
All right, folks. Thank you, everybody's attention early here. Right, so you all got to take a few of our recipes there, try one of them out. And some of you may have questions about those recipes, so I'm here to kind of help you out with that. Now, we are certainly the first distillery and still one of the few that used 10 recipes to craft our bourbon, right? And what we can do with that is we can blend different recipes together to craft a new small batch at a whim, or have 10 unique barrel strength single barrels, and that's a lot of fun too, right? So we have the capability to craft something for just about any bourbon enthusiast, and that is one of our biggest unique qualities. Now, of our 10 recipes, we have 2 mash bills and 5 proprietary strains of yeast. Each recipe is going to bring something different to the batch. So 1 mash bill, 1 yeast strain, that's 1 recipe, and we'll age it up individually, and then we can take those individual recipes and do what we need to with them, right? The 4-letter code, that first letter is always no, that's a distillery indicator, all right? It means 4 Roses made it, okay? The second letter is your mash bill, E or B. The E mash bill is 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% malted barley. That's a pretty high rye content, but our B mash bill is 60% corn, 35% rye, 5% malted barley. So we have a high rye and an even higher rye mash bill there, right? The third letter S just stands for straight whiskey. Means it's aged at least 2 years. We won't pull anything younger than 5 here at 4 Roses anyway, so we meet that standard. And then the last letter is your strain of yeast, V, K, O, Q, and F. Now each strain of yeast will produce its own unique flavors and aromas. V, delicate fruit flavors and aromas, like pear, apple, apricot, stone fruits. K, light spice, like baking spices. O, rich fruit, candied red apples, cherries, ripened berries, those sweeter fruits. All right, Q, floral essence, honeysuckle, lavender. You can get some of those candied fruits and sweet vanillas with that as well. And then F, herbal notes. You get the clove and the cocoa and the nutmeg often on that, but you can get some herbal tea or mint kind of notes with it as well. Very unique recipes, and again, each recipe is going to have its own spirit to it. It's going to bring its own thing to whatever it is we decide to put it in. Our limited editions, those recipes change every single year. They're limited edition small batches, and you can really see that there's a lot of characteristic to each one of those, and they're completely unique. So that is one of the biggest qualities about 4 Roses. Some of the others we'll talk about as we actually get out there, like our brick houses and stuff like that. But that is the recipes. Are there any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
What is this reasoning for the letter designations for everything? You would think it would just be A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah. We were bought by Seagram's. When Seagram's bought a brand, this is a product from the Seagram's days, and we kept it for history's sake. They assigned a distillery a letter, and what you brought to the table, your yeast, your mash bills, those were assigned letters as well, and this is how it ended up turning out. Now,
so somebody else had the A, B,
nobody, yeah, that's right. Nobody uses this anymore, to my knowledge. But we've stuck with it. Yeah, back in the day, it would have made sense to them because they would have acquired different distilleries at different times, and it would have worked out that way. So it's a good question. And as far as the straight whiskey, there have been light whiskeys and gins and stuff like that they've made, and they would have had different designations for that as well.
The first O is from, because this was the code of this distillery?
Yep. Yep. Well, this is the distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky.
Right.
It was the code, which was
So what was the distillery's A, B? No.
I have no clue about that. No.
A through
Which
N.
strains did you require? Which one's the original?
The yeast.
Yeah.
As far as I know, the VE strain was the original, and then the others were kind of evolved off of that. Yeah.
So what was the thought about having the distance between the two facilities?
So the distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky was a distillery that Seagram's used to produce a lot of things, including Four Roses, and in this location aged stuff for 5 distilleries they owned at the time, us being one of the 5. And as time passed, others just taken it out of service. And when Kieran bought the brand, they got the distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, and they got the warehouses here with the remaining stock. And we don't have the room for this distillery, or we don't have the room for the rick houses there at the distillery, and the stills are already up and running with the water source there. So it's just the cards we were dealt.
Why weren't you able to keep the, whatever's called, the 3 on the hill?
Oh, I mean, we could have. We sold them.
Oh, okay.
To
I
Wild
thought it was a
Turkey.
financial thing.
Yeah, no, they just sold them to Wild Turkey. Because, I mean, they would have tasted different. I mean, well, we're about consistency here, and these single-story rick houses give us that. And we have room, you know. We have 29, Heather? I think it's 29 working rick houses right now. There's definitely 28 that have barrels out. Yeah, so
So I think it's 28.
it's 28.
Wow.
No, 29.
Yeah, because they just finished the inspection on that. Yeah.
There you go.
So we have 29 working rick houses. Each rick house can hold up to 25,000 barrels apiece. Some of the older ones 24,000, some of the new ones 25. But yeah, we got plenty of bourbon on the property.
Are they
So we don't need it.
uncontrolled or just natural?
No, just natural. Yeah, we just let it do their thing. All right, so you all ready to head out to the bus? Are we go out this way? Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Because
you're
our
out that way.
Oh. I could go for one of those now. Oh, thank you.
We're gonna get back on the bus here. We're gonna visit one more section for you guys to see and do some things, and then we're gonna be back at the gift shop.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they always leave you off in the gift shop, just like Disney.
Always.
Except these rides are much better.
They got American flag coming out. Is that them? I just think if you order them here.
Okay, the problem is it's a little hot, and then we have an air quality alert, so we don't want anybody who has any problems breathing have any issues. I get it. Yeah.
He doesn't care. He's going in there. He's going to drink bourbon.
Hi, Gabby. Hello again. How do you guys still want to come on to my tour? Yes.
We want to jump ship. Oops, sorry.
Oh, your one's over there, by the way.
Oh.
Scott's over there. Sorry, they want to
We tried.
Yeah, just remember, if you have any complaints about this experience, my name was Michael, and you're part of Group 3.
Strong like bull.
Oh, my God.
500 pounds.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Oh, barrels. Oh, we got to follow him.
Over here. Don't touch the bourbon.
Oh,
Want to share water?
no, my own.
Oh, smells like a brick house.
Oh, love the smell of this place.
Oh, it's got deer on it. I have to take it out.
Deer Park.
Make sure everyone grabs the water. You guys probably need it.
That's everybody. All right. Welcome to our bulk building. And you all met Elena?
Yeah. Look, what do you get?
She's gonna let you all come up with one of your cups and thief from a barrel. Well, she's gonna thief from the barrel.
Gotcha.
Right? You can't.
I'd say you might get a little less bourbon on you than I will, so we can make that deal.
Yeah, so she's gonna have a fun time explaining to the cops.
Why I said like alcohol when I go home.
Yeah, because I'm gonna call and say, hey, this vehicle is driving erratically in front of me. I wouldn't do that. I'm gonna start handing these out, and you do right up the line now. The information for this barrel is on that little chalkboard right there. We don't know the proof because we don't have a hydrometer, but
Yeah, sorry if I got you.
we are sure that it's an OESO. And this one has some deep aromas of candied red apples. Kind of a Granny Smith kind of note too.
There you go.
Thank you.
How much does that pick up?
It kind of varies by thief. Like each thief kind of picks up a little differently. Like we have 4 different ones, and they'd all be different.
All be different.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're a generous thief.
We like those. Those are the best kind.
Yum. You might try
Cheers.
that. Oh, cheers. Yeah, I like that.
Earlier I said that those barrels from City Barrels were straight barrels together. I kind of lied. This is a straight
Woo!
barrels of that.
Woo!
That's really cinnamony.
Yeah,
Smells like bourbon.
Oh, I got it on my nose.
all of our bourbons go in the barrel with 100 alcohol. So tiers 3 and 4 kind of hang out about 118 to 120. Tiers 1 and 2 lose proof, typically speaking. We do lose proof at a.
You like it?
I did.
That's the OESO. That's the other one.
I like a little bit of water in it. Made it less harsh.
I think this one drinks less. Considering this is barrel or cask babes. Considering this is barrel strength, this I think drinks less hot than the one we had upstairs at 104.
Maybe.
You like this one? That smells pretty good. So far, I think this is my favorite one. OESO. It's kind of fun to see the equipment that they use.
It's an interesting forklift.
That looks like it might be a barrel lift.
Picks up barrels.
If you all were a part of a liquor store, a restaurant, a bar, what have you, right behind us, this one here, that's where you would go to try 10 of these barrels. One of each recipe would be a blind taste test. They'd have a little thing over just like that right there. You would deep-from the barrel again, and you would try these recipes. You would pick your favorite. They would bottle it and send it to your liquor store, club, bar, what have you. All right? That would be with managing notes. You can look at it and you can see what speaks to you. He's pretty good about that. So,
Is every single barrel that gets filled in the distillery tested? Like they try, because there's stations that try every single barrel in all the rig houses?
For single barrels, yes, but for the batches, they're doing cross sections.
So you can when they're filling barrels, they know what's gonna go where. Like they say.
After 3 years, they start doing the sampling and they start to develop an idea of what they're going to use it for. All right, so we can head over here and follow me.
Good thing you didn't say walk this way because we'd have to go like this. Yeah.
Dumping our barrels for everything except for the single barrels. So this is where the small batches and the 80 proof 4 rows of bourbon is done. So the barrels, once they've met their minimum age statement and they taste right, they'll roll the barrels in with that non-roll there and roll them up on this yellow trough, and they'll take that drill that's hanging overhead, drill the bottom out of the barrel, just drilling the bottom. From there, they'll into the bottom of the barrel, roll the barrel over, and if you look closely, you'll see that that's not just like aluminum or whatever. There are tiny little holes in there, and that's going to filter out any of the barrel bits, as you can see right here. And then that bourbon is pumped underground to our holding tanks we looked at earlier on the bottling line. Over there, that's where they'll process it, chill filter it or not, whatever the case may be, and get everything ready for the bottling process. Once the barrels are evacuated, they go over there where we can't use them anymore. We can only, it's a one and done for us, so we sell them to wineries, breweries, other distilleries. Maple syrup, honey, hot sauce, whatever the case may be. There's plenty of use for those barrels afterwards. We just can't use them again. So they'll insert what we call a little barrel pacifier into the barrel and set it aside for the purchase. And we'll sell them for guests too. They're $225 for a fresh dump barrel, Wednesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. I'm a salesman first. And a little bit about the barrels. Independent State Company makes our barrels. American White Oak a level 4 char, so they char the barrels for 43 to 46 seconds to achieve that char. And they'll ship them to us here. Now, they have 2 locations. They might be at 3 now. They're building another, but Lebanon, Missouri, and Lebanon, Kentucky. Just Lebanon worked out for them. But most of our barrels do come from the Missouri location. And the way that we know that is if you look around this barrel somewhere, there'll be bolts that hold the hoops together. There's still hoops. They'll be stamped with an MO or a KY label on the print origin for that barrel. Wherever they're at.
There's some over here.
Yeah, on the back side. The one we got, Missouri.
It's like these.
Yeah, so this one is a show barrel.
Yeah.
Kidding. Emma. Gotcha.
Missouri.
Zebra. These are the zebra barrels.
A little bit of a ramp.
A little steamy in the barrel house.
A little warm.
I mean, it's not bad though.
Yeah. I'm assuming when they turn on the fans, it's a little bit better.
You know what I love? Like old scales and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Machine tool days from like Toledo or
There's a big old scale. And apparently, those are the hold barrels.
they check on things like that. So we always try to make sure we're doing our best possible. Hello again.
The guys over there that do the manage for us, but your position, we need somebody
Oh.
Yeah, so new barrels, they come to us from Independent State Company. So they will be rolled up on this conveyor system over here, and they go to this gray overhang machine. That's a 4-station filler, so they'll fill 4 barrels in 45 seconds with 120 proof distillate. Those are 53-gallon barrels. From there, that pneumatic hammer will hammer in the bungs. We use poplar bungs. It's a soft wood that swells quickly and creates a really nice seal so that the bung doesn't leak. From there, this red device is going to put that stencil on the barrel, which we'll see some in a moment. But this stencil is going to tell us the fill date, it's going to tell us the recipe, DSPKY8, which is our distillery number, all that information before the barrels go to the brick house and we designate a spot for aging. So if you
Take a picture of the Seagram's barrel that it's a Seagram's.
So then those new barrels, freshly filled, it's just become bourbon. It is rolled onto this lift device here. They'll roll over here. The system brings the barrel over. This will push the barrel forward. The rail will extend out. There'll be a tractor trailer on the other side of that. There'll be another lift. The barrel will roll into that lift. It raises the barrel up and then it tilts forward, rolls the barrel into the back of the tractor trailer for us. Because again, these barrels weigh about 500 pounds. We don't want to lift those ourselves, right? So the barrels get loaded to the back of the trailer, and we designate a rick house for those barrels to go into and age up in. While it's in the rick house, a lot of things will be happening during the aging process. During the warm climate, the bourbon soaks into the wood like a sponge. And then whenever it cools down and gets frigid, the barrels constrict. The cells in the wood constrict, just like your muscles would if somebody poured cold water down the back of your neck, right? And then when it constricts, it squeezes that bourbon back out, and it's going to pass in and out of the wood through that char layer. And that's where bourbon picks up 100% of its color and about 2/3 of its flavor. Right? One of my favorite rules for bourbon is no additives is allowed except for water to adjust the proof, right? So we can't add coloration or flavoring in that. So that interaction going in and out of the wood is happening quite a bit here in Kentucky because we have all 4 seasons sometimes in one day. Right? We have a couple bonus winters in the middle of spring. We even name them Dogwood Winter, Blackberry Winter, right? A couple bonus springs in the middle of winter. We even have a second tornado season in winter sometimes. It's crazy in Kentucky, but that climate helps rapidly age the bourbon. It helps us get a lot of that rich flavor and color. And that is one of the primary reasons why there's so many distilleries in Kentucky. That and that good old-fashioned limestone water, right? Situated on that limestone shelf, it naturally filters our water and adds minerals to it, removes iron and other impurities. These things factor together and make a great, biome for bourbon making in general. So that's why you see so many distilleries in Kentucky, and that's why we don't temperature control our rick houses. We just let Mother Nature do her thing. Yeah. After at least 5 years, that's when the barrels will make their way through there, and as we talked about, get dumped. So, any questions about the filling of barrels, the dumping of barrels, the aging process?
What's the scale back there that looks like it gets bypassed?
Yeah, the scale back there does get bypassed now. It's kind of a relic. Now the scales are built into the tanks. So when the liquid goes in, they can measure the amount of gallons it weighs, and they factor in they have the equation there in the computer that it factors in the tax. It's about taxes. So they factor it in there. They don't have to do it through the scale. And there's an even older scale in the gift shop that you'll be able to see in there. And it's really nice, really good to pass. It has this hook system that holds onto the barrel, and you can get the little thing in your and stuff. And they had a way that they factored it all in, but now it's just pretty much an equation based off of the weight of the bourbon, how many gallons there are, and then they factor in 100 proof gallons. And that's something I don't know all the tax laws. Somebody else gets paid.
You only pay the tax once.
The taxes is, from what I understand, it's paid once at bottling. What I believe it is. I could be wrong. It might be when they weigh it before it bottles, but I believe it's during bottling. Again, I don't do the taxes here, so somebody who's paid a lot more than me does that. But yeah, it's factored throughout the years and then paid once.
That's the federal tax, right? You just got rid of your barrel aging tax, right?
I believe
No, it's a 10-year phase out.
Years.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
By the time it goes out, they'll create it.
Yeah.
Control board over here. There's a problem with it.
Yeah, I think that one was a pretty easy one to figure out.
If you see this, it's probably bad.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna take them out. So group one.
Group one.
Group 1. Get back with your own group.
No infiltration.
Alright, go back to the bus. Have snacks and water.
No, they're going to let us off in the gift shop. Or actually, we may go on the bus to get the lift shop. I don't know. And we are now loading back up on the bus after the barreling house. And we're headed to the gift shop.
It's cold. It's so cold out here.
What have you been drinking?
Power suggestion, I guess. I don't know. It's not bad though. I mean, it really isn't bad.
Oh no, he won't let us on.
Start going into the Rick House. We'll see you again.
You guys find Scott right at the end over there.
There's Scott. We like Scott.
One's follow the
One's. All right.
All right.
One is the best number.
Oh, bro, that's a nice cup.
I was going to say they need to give him some of that limestone water.
They're getting eaten up. You would think it would have.
So we're at the famous Rick House C.
Oh, look, I keep walking.
Here, give me your phone, guys, and I'll take a picture of you two against this little thing.
No.
You guys going to fall for that old one?
Yeah, why not? It's the fake Rick House.
For that old one? Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me your phone. Give me your phone. Oh, cute.
Act like you like her.
Hey, get out of the way.
Remember that thing I said about hitting the record button? All right.
Yeah, right.
Send them some love.
Yeah, you okay, folks. As I said earlier, there are currently 29 of these single-story rick houses situated across 298 acres. Each rick house at maximum capacity can hold up to 25,000 barrels of bourbon. We got a lot of bourbon on the property, and we're just waiting for one more person. I want to swing this open. The cool air is going to come out, and the sights and smells are just going to overwhelm the senses. Nice. We'll let you take a peek in, snap some pictures. We already talked about the aging process. Then we'll just get you all right back in there to shop for some bourbon and let another group come in, right? It is always a little cooler in here than it is outside. It never gets as hot. It's cold summer, it doesn't get as hot, with one exception. That is if it is 105 degrees for about a week straight and it drops down to 70.
You guys have a sleepover experience, right?
I've been trying to get them to put some hammocks in here. Bring them out as an Airbnb, you know. The mice don't really like it that much in here.
I was going to say, that might be a little bit more aged.
Oh, tore it up. All right, yeah, so this is Rick House C, the first Rick House built on the property. We had a little bit too much to drink that day. We have an A and a B now.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's that naming convention again.
Yeah, so Rick House C was completed July of 1960, and the first barrel went into storage August that same year. The rest is history. So they'll roll those barrels down that track. We'll have a device in here called a ricker. It's kind of like a forklift. And they'll raise the lift on that ricker to whatever tier of the rick they want to place it into. The guy who rides the ricker, he's known as the ricker rider. Yeah, it's called a rick house because the barrels used to sit on a rick of wood, which is a unit of measurement for wood's a half a cord. All right. After the appropriate amount of time has passed and it has met its flavor profile, the barrels will get rolled out the way that they came in, and then they go down to bulk building where you all were, and they get processed. And that's our. That's the whole thing. This is the rick house.
So question.
Like a forklift?
Yeah, it's like a forklift kind of, yeah. Yeah.
So, why is it not taller?
Yeah, the single-story rick house is only a 6 or 7 degree difference between the bottom and top barrel, so barrel rotation is not needed. We get consistent aging qualities while Mother Nature does her thing. So that way, again, it's one of those things where we're removing as many variables as we can, and there are a lot of variables in the rick house. How close to the wall, how close to the center, what height it is. In multi-story facilities, it could be 20, 30, even 40 degrees difference between the bottom and top barrels. So this is a way that we have decided this is our method to do things to get those consistent flavor profiles.
So where did the barrels go before 1960?
So the 3 rick houses that they had across the street up there, and then before that they would have went
Wherever Seagram's happened.
Well, Seagram's bought it in 1943, so there've been a lot of different places that they could have put, barrels. But yeah, 1960 is when it started with Four Roses and 4 other distilleries. Yeah, and they went out of service and we remained. Today it's only Four Roses.
Do you assign different recipes to different rick houses?
No, we put a little bit of everything in a rick house. We don't want to lose all of one thing if something were to happen. A little of everything is okay. It gives us a lot of, all the eggs in one basket thing's a bad thing, right? Yeah.
Like a tornado or?
Yeah, or,
then you can market the hell out of it at least.
That's right.
Oh, that's how they do it. Like
Yeah, or,
birds and
whatever the
crash.
case may be. We've had, one of them got flooded like down there or something like that. That could be,
You don't have sprinklers?
Yeah, we have 180 sprinklers on in each rick house. We're in the south entry. There's 90 ricks here, and there's 90 over there, so 180 ricks. There's a sprinkler over each rick, and that lake is our water source for our fire suppression system. Every rick house is equipped with sprinklers, and there's 2 diesel-powered pumps that would kick on and flood this place with lake water if it ever happened, which it hasn't, thank God.
Good.
But also,
Keep our babies safe.
Yeah, then
All of our babies.
the land kind of curves inward. It's like a moat around each rick house, so that flaming liquid wouldn't spread from rick house to rick house. All right, so I will be in the gift shop with y'all to answer more questions, but we're going to go head in and take a look at some of those single barrel private selects if you want to purchase any. And again, if you have any further questions, I'm going to be in there with you all, but we got to make room for the next group to come in. So if you want to head on out, and it means you all get to. I don't know what they permit at.
Hello again. You just keep getting me.
That old scale they were talking about?
All right, go ahead and start audio. All right, guys.
There's barrel pits, like a separate lottery, no guarantee.
Yep.
Group 2, anybody?
I'm gonna sneak by you real quick. Which one'd you grab? OB.
OESK.
Oh, I wanted the OBSO.
Not me.
Where's the OBS?
I need your phone. I don't know if they have. Those mats.
Do you want one, Matt?
I was just asking if you did.
No, I don't think so.